All my life, I've been a global traveler, seeking cultures and traditions that are just as vibrant today as in times past. We're opening doors, stepping into worlds most never see, because that's where the best stories are, behind closed doors. We're sharing stories of local life and the working world, plus spending time with some of the most interesting people you'd ever want to meet. It's truly privileged access that always leaves me excited to explore more. In Germany, the River Rhine cuts through steep hillsides and craggy cliffs to reveal quaint villages of half-timbered houses around every bend. This 80-mile stretch between Bingen and Bonn makes up the Middle Rhine, but the area is more affectionately known as the Romantic Rhine. In the late 18th and early 19th centuries, this idyllic setting inspired Rhine Romanticism, an artistic movement during which artists decried industrialization and turned instead to nature and the past for inspiration. Writers, painters, and composers, Lord Byron, William Turner, and Richard Wagner among them, journeyed along this sublime waterway, coming away forever changed by the experience. This historic river inspired such works as Wagner's The Ring Cycle, Heine's poem The Lorelei, and some of Turner's finest landscapes, the result of several voyages along the Rhine. In 2002, a portion of the Middle Rhine was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, in part because of its more than 40 medieval castles, such as Rheinstein Castle, once home to Holy Roman Emperor Rudolf von Habsburg, 12th century Starlet Castle, built by the Archbishops of Cologne, and Marksburg, the only Rhine castle never conquered. Even more intriguing is Pfalzgrafenstein, a toll station built on an island in the middle of the river. Chains once stretched from this island across the entire Rhine. In order to pass, one had to pay a toll, a major source of medieval revenue for the castle landowners. This majestic waterway, long the domain of knights and princes, painters and poets, offers a fascinating window into the past, as well as some of the world's most spectacular vistas. The next time you're in Europe, I hope you'll take the opportunity to explore the romantic Middle Rhine for yourself. In the heart of Koblenz lies the Serene Memorial, one of unfathomable history, of unshakable faith and culture. An unexpected oasis of tranquility and a long-standing witness to turbulent times.
Soweit ich weiß, der Friedhof ist circa 1000 Jahre alt.
The cemetery is approximately 1000 years old, and it provides a strong, enduring symbol of continuity.
While now a place of solitude, as a key part of the Jewish community, it was once viewed as a threat and dealt with as such during the tragic days of World War II.
Dieser Friedhof hatte sehr schwer aber erlitten in die Zeiten bis heute.
This cemetery has suffered greatly, especially during the darkest days of the Holocaust. Koblenz was not immune from the persecution that swept across Europe.
Families were relentlessly harassed and fled the city. Those who didn't were sent to concentration camps, including Koblenz's decorated Jewish veterans who had proudly served Germany in World War I.
Authorities even looted the Jewish cemetery, seizing headstones and using them as steps near the Lützel train station. To me, it's still incomprehensible.
Das ist nicht nachvollziehbar.
After the war, the headstones were brought home, but all of the 1,000 Koblenz Jews had vanished. No one was left who knew where the headstones belonged, so they were placed along the main walkway, an impromptu promenade to honor the dead.
Rebuilding the cemetery was straightforward, but re-establishing our community, for that we needed outside help.
Today, the Jewish community has been restored to pre-war levels, largely by the faithful from former Soviet states. So the predominant language is neither Yiddish nor German, but Russian. Another surprise was finding a synagogue on the cemetery grounds. In Judaism, they're always kept apart, but in the aftermath of war, options were few.
Many people took great risks to keep Judaism alive in Koblenz, including a Christian who hid our Torah, a brave act that would have surely brought death if discovered. He was later given an honorary grave in our cemetery.
In this intimate space, new generations are taught not only the Jewish way of life, but also the importance of acceptance and the welcoming of all people.
Our home here is open to everyone, Christians, Jews, Muslims, all people.
Christen, Juden, Muslim, alle Menschen in der Welt,
in the hope that we should all live together, peacefully.
I found the Jewish cemetery in Koblenz to be a deeply moving experience. And I highly recommend this fascinating cultural treasure. For centuries, Marksburg defended the Rhine at Braubach. Perched 90 meters above the water, virtually no activity on the river escaped detection. The castle dates to 1231, a time when the German Empire was split into small principalities, earldoms, and dominions. It was the High Middle Ages, a period when nearly 25,000 castles were built in Germany.
Everyone had to enclose his territory and secure it against neighbors who were perhaps not so friendly.
Gegenüber dem Nachbarn, der vielleicht nicht freundlich gesinnt war.
Marksburg was no exception. Towering over the Rhine, it was an intimidating, utterly unassailable sentinel. Even now, you can almost hear the echoes of well-trained soldiers and brave knights on horseback, relentlessly patrolling, ready to defend the castle's 4 gates. Time proved Marksburg impenetrable. With the castle's location and extreme defensive ramparts, it's little wonder that after 8 centuries, including an attack in World War II, Marksburg still stands as the only Rhine castle, never to have been conquered.
The idea of attacking Marksburg was so daunting, most armies quietly passed by. So the castle was usually defended by just 10 to 15 people during the Middle Ages.
Im Mittelalter.
Those invited into Marksburg discovered the castle was anything but opulent. Instead, life here was relatively Spartan. The original owners were the powerful Lords of Epstein, while characters like John the Belligerent and Count Johann the Warlike, who was the last aristocrat to occupy Marksburg, played a large part in shaping the castle as it exists today. While there are no ghosts here, Marksburg does have an eerie tale.
Legend has it, the first count's daughter was set to marry a knight. That is until Saint Mark appeared. In the castle's tiny chapel, his spirit became visible and he revealed the knight was actually in league with the devil. Eternally grateful, the castle was renamed Marksburg. That's the only supernatural event that we know of.
Von denen wir wissen.
In the early 19th century, the castle fell into Napoleon's hands, and he gifted it to the Duchy of Nassau. Then, in 1900, the German Castles Association, a private heritage foundation, bought Marksburg to preserve and protect it. Today, this stunning icon is home to a different kind of treasure. An immaculate collection of armament fit for a fortress such as this. More than 2,000 years of shaped steel and chainmail documenting the evolution of armor.
Life along the river has changed a lot with the centuries, but towering Marksburg Castle stands strong. It's an impeccable time capsule here on the Rhine.
Sei Dank schneit es nicht so oft hier am Rhein.
I hope you too will do what I did and immerse yourself in this Rhine treasure, listening for the stories this remarkable castle can tell.